And I'm just going to, little introduction, Senator Betty Little down the end there, Adirondack Thunder President Brian Petrovic, ECHL Commissioner Brian McKenna, and Director of Sports Marketing at CCM Hockey, J.C. Bergeron is here. I'm Cameron Close. And we're just going to hear from everyone, and then we'll open it up to some questions at the end. When the Adirondack Red Wings began their 20-year stay in Glens Falls over 3 decades ago, professional hockey in Glens Falls and the Adirondack region as a whole was born. Years later, that tradition still lives on. The 4 Calder Cup banners that hang in the Civic Center proudly today serve as a reminder of the great events that this historic building has witnessed. Many of our most passionate fans, some I see here today, experienced those events and can not only recount them, but likely are still sitting in the same seats as the Adirondack Thunder welcome this new chapter as a member of the ECHL. Today we have the honor of adding yet another great hockey event to this historic building's resume. Brian McKenna is in his 13th season as ECHL Commissioner. Under his leadership, the league has seen over 540 players make it to the National Hockey League, has set countless single-season attendance records, and has established and developed the ECHL's mid-season All-Star Classic showcase. It's our pleasure to welcome back Commissioner McKenna today for a very special announcement.
Thank you very much. But before we make that announcement, just a little bit of background and history on the All-Star Classic. We had our first one in Wheeling, West Virginia in 1993, and the event has grown in both size and stature since that time. It's important to point out that it's more than just an All-Star game. We have many events that surround it. We're going to have our Hall of Fame induction luncheon. We'll have the Hockey Hall of Fame with their interactive games and displays in town as well to be able to do Fan Fest. We have our Board of Governors meeting, so we have representatives from all 28 teams from across the continent that will be in the community over a period of several days. So really what the event has turned into is a celebration of hockey. In most cases as well, it has its own local flavor. As I look back over the years, some of the events that we've had, can recall being on a riverboat for a banquet in Peoria, Illinois. A lot of our attendees going on wine tours when we were in Stockton and Bakersfield, California for All-Star Games. Last year in Orlando, certainly a lot of folks came early and stayed late and took part in a lot of the tourist attractions that were in the Orlando area as well. We foresee that that will certainly continue in the future. Hundreds of people, players, families, our league board of governors, as I mentioned before, sponsors like CCM, proud sponsor that we've had for many years there, with JC sitting at my left. He and many other of our league partners will be in town, as well as countless fans from across the league as well to be able to take in hospitality here in Adirondack. And I think first and foremost, it's an opportunity for the community to show itself off, both from a sporting point of view and from a business point of view, with all the great attractions and the amenities that the area has to offer. The criteria for the event, again, what we look for is a strong bid, not only from the business point of view in the hockey department. What we're looking for is community support. And certainly with the bid that we received, it had not only that business plan that we feel very comfortable with, but also broad-based support from government, from business, Chamber of Commerce, and the local political community here as well. All of those are very important as we put together our criteria to host our Winter Classic event. At this point, I'd like to welcome to the podium J.C. Bergeron to say a few words. Again, they've been a partner with us in this event for many years, and we're proud to announce that that's going to continue into the future. And at this point, J.C., I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Brian. Good morning, everyone. Actually, this morning I was driving from Montreal, so I won't speak French, I promise. I was driving from Montreal to here, and all kinds of good memories came back to my head while when I was playing, I was part of the Montreal Canadiens organization for 3 years. I remember when I was playing against the Red Wings, Adirondack Red Wings, and it was a great building and a great atmosphere that I remember when we played in this arena. So it's great to be here right now, and very pleased that the ECHL will have the All-Star Classic next season. So basically, CCM is very thrilled to be the title sponsor of the 2017 ECHL All-Star Classic. We feel that the event is the perfect stage, basically to showcase the talent of the ECHL players, all while bringing together the local community, of course. We feel privileged to be part of it. In terms of CCM relationship with ECHL is very unique and has evolved over the last years to become more a partnership than just an agreement between two different entities. We have great partnership with the leagues, and we feel very fortunate to have that partnership. Basically, CCM is pleased to really contribute to the success of many young athletes. We know that not all of the ECHL players will end up playing in the NHL, but we know that a lot of them, like you mentioned, will have the chance to play in the NHL. And the one that are not going to will have a great experience, and that will service them for the rest of their life. As you know, CCM is a leader in the hockey industry when it comes to product design and technology, as well a relationship with pro players go as far as back as 1936. I'm sure you remember King Clancy, basically, with all the fame King Clancy story, and of course followed by many great players who made a difference in the future, the like of Paul Anderson, Mark Messier, Mario Lemieux, Sidney Crosby, and the up-and-coming young star like Tommy McDavid. So basically, we're very pleased to be partnership with the ECHL, and we're pleased next year to be around all of you guys and be at the All-Star Classic. Thank you.
As I mentioned before, from the Thunder organization, we received a very strong bid. And I'd like to thank the Thunder organization, the business plan that they put together. I'd like to thank CCM. I'd like to thank I Love New York for their partnership and support of this event as well. And without further ado, I would like to officially award the 2017 CCM ECHL All-Star Classic to the Adirondack Thunder in the city of Glens Falls.
Thank you, Brian. On behalf of our players and staff and Calgary Sports and Entertainment, as we look ahead to the 2016-17 season and our celebration of 35 years of professional hockey at the Glens Falls Civic Center, this is a great honor and a privilege, and a well-deserved recognition and tribute to the long-standing loyalty of the region's fans and sponsors. Before I share a few thoughts and provide a few details concerning the event, in addition to our thanks to JC and CCM as our title sponsor, I'd like to recognize and thank our event partner, I Love New York, for their support, and in particular, thank Senator Little for her leadership on this project. As many of you know, Senator Little, among her numerous roles and committee functions, serves as the chair of the Senate Committee on Cultural Affairs, Tourism, and Parks and Recreation, with an event such as this falling within her committee's wheelhouse. Betty is representing I Love New York today, and at this time I'd like her to share a few thoughts with you.
I'm really proud that I Love New York is going to be a third partner with ECHL and with CCM to have this wonderful All-Star Tournament games in Glens Falls in January. I mean, actually, January is not the height of the tourism season in Glens Falls. It's not even the shoulder season, but it will be a great time to have a major event in our community, and I'm really happy about that. So Brian sent me this letter telling me that they had been awarded the bid. It was very confidential, and wondered about I Love New York. And actually, all I did was send it down to I Love New York and talk to Gavin Landry, the director of I Love New York, and they said, that fits in perfectly. The governor's new thing in tourism is to promote sporting events in New York State. We have ski areas, we have winter sports, we have the winter sports capital of the world in Lake Placid, we have football teams, we have hockey teams, we have basketball teams, we have PGA golf tournaments, and we have all kinds of, running events, marathons and everything, and promote sports, because sports are healthy when you're participating, and they're a great thing for people to participate in as, fans and be observers and get to these games and see all of that. So I'm very, very happy. I Love New York is really excited. They'll bring some financial funding, but more than that, there will be marketing and marketing of this. We all have seen what they can do with their marketing and their TV promotions and all. Just a couple weeks ago, I participated in a tourism summit that the governor held in Albany. And there they announced an additional $5 million he's going to have in his budget added to the tourism promotion budget for New York State. And I really think, as tourism chair, and I've been involved in it all the time I've been in the legislature because it's such a big thing for my district, we have seen under this governor a real recognition of tourism as an economic development tool. And that really is what it is, having people come to our community for these games to see what we have to offer, to be able to experience the hospitality of Glens Falls, the fun and the thrill of watching hockey here in this facility. I think we'll bring them back many, many more times, and we're hopeful about that. I also want to thank the coalition. Many of the members are here today, and they have stepped up to the plate and already made improvements to our facility here, with many more improvements in the works. So what you see today will be even better when you get here in January. We guarantee that. So a year from January, no, not this January. We're not that fast. So I'm very, very excited, and I thank Brian for his efforts in putting forward that application and getting this All-Star games here, and we're looking forward to sellout crowds and a great time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Betty. As I said a few moments ago, hosting this prestigious event will be a privilege for our franchise. I've personally had the opportunity and the good fortune of hosting the American Hockey League All-Star Classic on 2 occasions, in 2003 and in 2010 in Portland, Maine. And I can share with you firsthand the excitement it brings to a community and the direct impact it has on the local economy. In this particular case, the event will be a cornerstone of a year-long 35th anniversary campaign celebrating professional hockey in the Adirondack region and at the Glens Falls Civic Center. As our press release indicates, the event will take place on Tuesday, January 17th, with a community-wide fan fest followed on Wednesday, the 18th, with the annual ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremonies and luncheon, the All-Star Game and Skills Competition, and conclude that evening with a Taste of Downtown celebration. The build-out of the two-day All-Star experience has been ongoing for months behind the scenes, as Brian indicated. During the bid process, however, a detailed plan was presented and unanimously approved by the League's Board of Governors. Over the next 443 days, before we welcome our first guest to the region, a series of announcements will be made concerning the details of each ticketed event, the availability, price, and on-sale date of tickets for FanFest, the Hall of Fame Luncheon, the Game and Skills Competition, along with sponsorship opportunities and the unveiling of a complete line of official All-Star Classic merchandise. And these announcements will begin to roll out in the next month or two. Beginning today on the Governor's website, in our community section, we will be providing up-to-date information on all aspects of the All-Star Classic. Suffice it to say that 2016-17 Thunder season ticket holders and sponsors will have first access to the event's tickets. The on-sale dates for tickets will align with the Thunder sales campaign, which will begin sometime in February of 2016. One of the more attractive aspects of our bid was the ability to make this a downtown walking event. But as we finalize logistics and deliverables over the next few weeks, as you all know, there are compelling assets in Lake George and Saratoga Springs for us to consider as well. We want to make this a regional event to the extent we can. The game and skills competition will be broadcast nationally, and we hope north of the border as well. To give you a sense of the scale of this property, the 2015 CCM ECHL All-Star Classic, which was held last January in Orlando, Florida, was broadcast in 23 states over regional cable sports networks to over 85 million households. Our expectation is that there will be interest from Northeast-based cable sports companies and in Eastern Canada as well to carry this event. Just think about the impact that exposure could have on visits to our region moving forward. Again, our thanks to CCM, to I Love New York for their generous support and leadership, and to the ECHL for their confidence in us as hosts in 2017. Thank you all very much.
Sounds like we're excited. Now we'll open it up to some questions.
Brian, what's your assessment of how the team has been received so far this new season here?
Very well. I think we knew going into the season there were some concerns about the quality of play, concerns about the commitment that Calgary had to the ECHL, but I think, as all of you know, proof has been in the pudding. The team has performed very well. We're out in the community. There's a good feeling for the atmosphere. I think we've got our work cut out for us to get attendance levels to where they need to be, but we're working hard and we're working smarter at that. But so far, so good. I think it's exceeded expectations.
Is that all?
Of course, Calgary, the other team has had its troubles so far this season. We've had players go back and forth like that. That affects the stability of the team.
To a certain degree, I think less so at Calgary at the NHL level, but I think we're fortunate with a head coach and a director of hockey operations that if we are losing a player for whatever reason, whether it's to Stockton or to another team, we have places to go to replenish our roster. So I know the same is true in Stockton. Regardless of where those teams are in the standings at this point in time, Calgary has a culture and a commitment to excellence, and I know we see that here every day, and I know the players and the staff in Stockton see it as well. So Calgary's going to be competitive. It's early, and time will tell.
I'm very pleased to see that the hockey players are getting out into the community and meeting with children, and it's been good. That's great.
Thank you. So are we, and we appreciate those comments. I think, if anything, you're going to see more of it. As you all know, following the team early on, we have a lot of time spent on the road. Now we're back at home. We've got a nice cluster of games coming up. Our second half schedule is favorable to us as well. And we have a plan in place for our community commitments, and we're certainly going to execute that to the fullest.
Thank you.
Thank you for the comment. Yeah.
Mr. McKenna, what's the format going to be for the All-Star game itself? Is it going to be the Thunder versus All-Stars, or is it going to be All-Star versus All-Stars?
In our bid, we proposed a Thunder versus All-Star format, and I think at this point that's where our head is at. That's our plan. The extent to which we modify the game itself and the actual skills that will take place during the evening remains to be seen. As most of you probably know, the National Hockey League announced just recently a rather dramatic change to their format. The American League followed suit. We actually suggested in our bid what I would call a non-traditional game, not a 20-minute period presentation. But I think we've decided to wait and see how the experiences at the National Hockey League and the American Hockey League level occur this winter, and we'll take a step back and have some news on that probably in the early part of the off season going into next season. But we're prepared to be the opponents, and the format is a TBD at this point. But we will make sure it's going to be an exciting format. The beauty of this property is that it gives us the flexibility to do some things in a non-traditional way, not just for the 5,000 people that will be in the building, but for millions of viewers that are going to look at the ECHL on television. So it's a showcase beyond just the Glens Falls Civic Center. We're going to take advantage of that to the extent we can, particularly with the television audience that we feel we're going to build.
From the league's perspective as well, we're very supportive of that. We want to make sure it's the game, the event is as entertaining as we can possibly make it. So we're open-minded in terms of an innovative approach that will accomplish that here in Glens Falls.
If those are all our questions, we'll, yep.
Senator Little, if I might, in light of the good news here, months ago we heard about New York State maybe giving us a big chunk of change to go to our civic center. Is that still a possibility?
Yes.
We all worry about it.
I can't steal anyone else's thunder.
Yeah.
One more thing to say about the coalition, if it wasn't for the coalition, we probably wouldn't be here today.
So true.
We can open it up to some one-on-ones.